Flexibility is an often neglected part of martial arts training. I've been doing combat sports for 20 years, and I notice, especially in combat sports, a lot of the athletes just have really limited flexibility. And one thing I've found is having good levels of flexibility has really helped me in my training in combat sports. So I think it's something that you shouldn't overlook. Now, before I did combat sports, I had a background in traditional martial arts such as Taekwondo, Chinese Wushu, and Capoeira. Three martial arts which are known for their flexibility. So I was exposed to different types of stretching routines through these martial arts. And then I also worked as a professional dancer in my youth, so I was surrounded by very flexible people. And then I went on to study different forms of yoga and also scientific methods of stretching that other people are putting out there in books, videos, and on the internet. So this stretching routine is a full body stretching routine for martial artists, where I've taken the best things that I've learned in the past 30 years and blended them into one routine that covers not just one type of stretching, but all the different types of stretching that you need. There's no one type of stretching that is better than others. You know, there's PNF stretching, there's static stretching, there's mobility exercises. A good stretching program contains all of these elements in it. And so I've tried to include these different types of stretching techniques into this routine in a way that flows continuously and smoothly and will give you the increased flexibility you need for your martial arts training. So here we go. Follow along, and I guarantee by the end of this you will feel completely different. So let's do it. Any good stretching routine should be preceded by a thorough warm-up. I like to start my warm-ups with rotational exercises for all the joints. Starting from the neck.
5.
Rotate your
6,
head in big circles in
7,
one direction.
8.
Then change
1,
and reverse direction.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Next, moving on to the shoulders.
3,
Circling your
4,
shoulders forward.
5,
Really use your
6,
trap
7,
muscles and your
8.
scapulars
1,
to
2,
get your shoulders
3,
up towards
4,
your ears.
5,
Big
6,
circles.
7, 8.
Next,
1,
your arms.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Big circles
6,
forward
7,
with the arms.
8.
Then reverse
1,
and go
2,
backwards.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Moving on to the hips.
2,
Basically, keep your head in the same
3,
spot and circle your
4,
hips in big circles
5,
like you're stirring a pot
6,
with your body.
7,
Then reverse
8.
direction.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now for the hip joint,
1,
circles with the
2,
legs, alternate
3,
circles,
4,
drawing an outward
5,
arc with your knee.
6, 7, 8.
Down to the knees,
1,
knee bends.
2,
Try to
3,
get your butt
4,
to your heels.
5, 6, 7.
You can lift your heels
8.
off the floor.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And knee
1,
circles,
2,
circling your
3,
knees in one direction.
4,
Again, just
5,
like you're stirring a big
6,
pot with your knees.
7, 8.
Then change
1,
direction.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Next, pushing forward
1,
and circling out.
2, 3, 4,
Then reverse, push
5,
out and circle
6,
forward and in.
7, 8.
Now ankle
1,
rotations.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
And change
8.
direction.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
And point
6, 7,
and flex
8.
and shake your foot. And change legs.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Point,
6, 7,
Flex
8.
and shake. To the calves now. Swing your arms up,
1,
coming up on your toes or on the
2,
balls of your feet. And as
3,
you swing down, rock back
4,
onto your heels.
5, 6, 7,
Now,
8.
holding your heels high off the floor, we're going to squat down into a squat position till our butt hits our heels, and we're going to hold it there. And down. Heels off the floor, staying on the balls of your feet. Use your arms for balance. Hold it. And rise up again. Now into normal squats.
1,
This is going to warm up your
2,
thighs
3, 4,
and really get the blood circulating
5,
before we get into
6,
stretching exercises.
7, 8.
Lunges. Step forward
1,
and let your back knee
2,
almost drop to the floor,
3,
keeping your body straight,
4,
upright.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Next, backward lunges. Step back and do the same
1,
thing, but stepping
2,
backwards.
3, 4, 5, 6,
Knee almost touches the floor.
7, 8.
Next to the side lunges.
1,
We're working our
2,
knees and the ligaments and tendons
4,
around the knees in different
5,
directions.
6, 7, 8.
And next, cross squats.
1,
Step behind, crossing your legs,
2,
and let your back knee
3,
fall down towards the floor. Keep your
4,
body up straight.
5,
Including these
6,
knee exercises in my warm-up has
7,
really helped me to overcome
8.
knee pain that I was suffering from. Hands up in like a guard type position,
2,
and we're doing
3,
shin blocks,
4,
raising
5,
your knee
6,
to inside
7,
your
2,
elbows.
2,
Stay up on
3,
your toes the
4,
whole time.
5, 6, 7, 8.
And jogging on the spot.
1, 2,
We're gradually
4,
getting into
5,
more
6, 7,
dynamic
2,
part
3,
of the warm-up now.
5,
We started
6,
off slow
7,
and easy,
8,
and now we're
1,
gradually
2, 3,
getting into
4,
more ballistic
5,
style
6,
exercises.
7, 8, 2,
Now
2,
we're throwing
3,
out
4,
punches
5,
as we run
6, 7,
and
8.
speed it up. Now jumping on the spot.
1,
Make sure
2,
you're staying on the balls
3,
of your feet. You're
4,
not jumping on your
5,
heels.
6,
Your heels should
7,
barely touch the
8,
floor,
2,
if at
2,
all.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And side to side jumps.
1,
Imagine there's a line
2,
on the floor and you're
3,
jumping both feet
4,
from side to side of that
5,
line.
6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And now forward and
7,
back.
8,
Again, we're
1,
working our
2,
ankles now
3,
in
4,
various
5, 6,
planes of movement,
7,
various
8,
angles.
2, 2,
Strengthens
3,
and
4,
develops all the
5,
tendons in your
6,
ankles
7,
and legs.
8.
Jumping
1,
jacks.
2, 3, 4,
A
5,
good warm-up
6, 7,
is without
8,
jumping jacks.
2, 2, 3, 4,
Moving
5,
into jumping
6,
lunges.
7,
This is just a high
8,
lunge. And you
1,
can add a punch
2,
in there if you want
3,
as well.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1,
Punch
2,
with the opposite hand to the
3,
leg that's forward.
4, 5, 6.
Now butt kicks.
7,
Kick those
8.
heels up behind
1,
you so you're kicking
2,
yourself in the butt.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3,
And next
4,
palms in front.
5,
High knee
6,
run.
7, 8. 1, 2,
Really getting
3,
into dynamic
4,
exercises.
5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3.
You should
4,
be breaking
5,
out into a
6,
sweat before you
7,
get into your
8.
stretching routine. Take a breath and drop down for knuckle push-ups. 10 push-ups. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jump up. And that's our warm-up. You should be thoroughly warmed up, breaking out into a sweat. Take a couple of deep breaths. And grab some water before we move on to the stretching part of the routine. Okay, let's start the stretch with neck stretches. Reach up with your left hand and pull your head to the side. Extend your opposite hand towards the floor so you're pulling your shoulder down. Now look down 45 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1,
And change sides. Pull your head to the side, looking straight ahead. Extend the fingers of your opposite hand towards the floor. Now turn your head and look downwards 45 degrees. You should really feel this in your neck muscles. Next, pulling your chin to your chest, but keep your spine straight as you do this. Next, push your chin to the ceiling and hold. Now, dynamic stretches forward and backwards. 3, 4, 5, and 6, side to 7, side. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And five, then turning 6, the head side 7, to side. 8. Important 1, 2, for 3, taking hits 4, to the head. 5, 6, and 7, finally, 8. Some rotations just to loosen it up. Next, you're going to clasp your fingers behind your head, pull your elbows back as far as you can, and push your head into your palms. This is really stretching your upper back. Next to the shoulders, typical shoulder stretch. 1, pull your 2, arm across. 3, be careful not to 4, let your body rotate 5, with the pull. 6, actually rotate your hips 7, in the 8, opposite direction slightly 1, to what you're pulling. 2, 3, so your hips should be 4, rotating in the opposite 5, direction to your 6, upper body. 7. Clasp your 8, fingers behind your back, pull your shoulders back, expand 1, your chest. 2, 3, chest expansion. 4, 5, 6, 7. Now extend 8. Your arms forward, place your palms together so your hands are turned inverted, and extend your back 1, behind you. 2, really round your back 3, as you push your 4, fingers forward. 5. This is 6, for your upper back, 7, spinal stretch. 8. Now dynamic chest and back stretches. 2, thumbs up, 3, pull back, 4, and as you 5, come forward, cross your arms 6, and round your back. 7, 8. Waist twists, twisting side to side, looking behind. 1, 2, let your heel 3, come up off the 4, floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. And now moving down to the legs with a calf stretch. Stand in a typical bow stance with your hands on your forward leg and extend your rear leg, pushing your heel into the floor with a straight knee. And change legs. 1. Really focusing on extending that calf, pushing that heel into the floor. 6, 7, 8. Moving to your thigh stretch. 2, stand, grab your foot behind you, keep your knees in tight together, and push your hip forward. You don't want to let your hip pull back or your knee be forward. You want to push your hip forward, and your knees should be together right by each other. 7, body straight. 8. You'll feel it in your thighs. Our hamstrings now. So hands on your thighs. 1, keep your back 2, straight. 3, and 4, knees straight. 5. 6, don't round your back. 7, be flat like a table. 8. Now extend your arms forward and push your butt back 1, behind you so you're 2, leaning back with your lower
3,
body. Use your arms
4,
for balance.
5.
You'll really feel
6,
this one in your
7,
hamstrings.
8.
Now doing it, but reaching 45 degrees towards the floor. Push that butt back. Use your arms for balance.
4, 5,
Finally, coming back to
6,
a more upright
7,
position,
8.
grab your ankles and pulling
1,
your nose towards
2,
the floor.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And rolling
8.
up through the spine, one segment at a time. Now, place your hands on your knees. We're going into Cossack squats. Just going side to side, gradually deepening as you
1,
go.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Now place your hands on the
8.
floor inside your knee and turn your toes up.
2, 3,
push your
4,
head 45 degrees
5,
towards the floor.
6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
And change sides.
8.
Make sure you keep your elbow inside your knee there.
1,
And your
2,
heel on the floor, if
3,
possible. It will give you
4,
a calf
5,
stretch as well.
6, 7,
Leaning your upper
8,
body 45
2,
degrees towards
2,
the floor.
3,
Try not to round your
4,
back. Always with all of these
5,
stretches, try to keep
6,
a straight back.
7.
Now we're
8.
going into knees wide. Into a
1,
frog
2,
stretch. I call this the frog stretch because
4,
the way your legs look.
5, 6,
Try
7,
to let your
8,
knees slide open
2,
as wide as you
2,
can.
3, 4, 5.
Now we're going
6,
to add some
7,
dynamic movement into
8.
this for mobility.
1,
Really working on
2,
your hip mobility.
3,
You
4,
are just
5,
moving your body
6,
forward and backwards,
7,
keeping your
8,
balance
2,
with your arms.
2, 3,
Push your hips forward
4,
and back.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Now extend your right leg out, foot flat on the floor,
1, 2,
and try to breathe and
3,
relax
4,
before going into
5,
rotations
6,
where you rotate your
7,
toes up so you're on your
8,
heel and back
2,
down again.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
And
8.
finally, we're going into a squeeze where you squeeze your knee
2,
and your foot
3,
into the
4,
floor,
5,
tensing
6,
your muscles as
7,
hard as you can,
8.
and hold it and relax. Good job. Now let's change sides to the other leg. First, just hold
2,
and relax.
3, 4,
Breathe.
5, 6, 7.
They're going into rotations.
8.
Toes up, toes
1,
down. Toes up,
2,
toes down.
3,
Let your whole
4,
leg rotate
5,
your knee and your
6,
hip joint.
7, 8.
Now hold
1,
and squeeze for
2,
8 seconds.
3,
Squeezing your knee
5,
and your foot
6,
into the floor.
7, 8.
And relax. Now we can return back to the frog position. Place your stomach down, extend your legs behind you, and we're going into a cobra stretch.
1, 2,
Extend your arms,
3,
pushing into the floor. Try to
5,
look up at the ceiling.
6,
Arch your back.
7, 8.
Stretching your
2,
lower back.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And relax. Come up onto your knees. We're going into cat camel.
2,
Starting with the
3,
camel stretch, you
4,
arch your back,
5,
pushing it towards
6,
the ceiling, sucking your
7,
stomach
8.
in. Now do the
1,
opposite. Arch
2,
your back
3, 4,
downwards and look
5,
up, just like the
6,
cobra stretch we
7,
did previously.
8.
Now we're going into down dog. Coming up on your heels, pushing your heels into the floor, and warming
1,
up our calves
2,
first
3,
by
4,
lifting
5,
and
6,
pushing our heels
7,
down.
8, 2, 2, 3.
Now we're going to
4,
push both
5,
heels down into
6,
the floor.
7,
Straight
8.
knees. Push through
1,
your arms.
2,
Try to straighten
3,
your back
4,
so your arms are making
5,
one line with your back
6,
all the way to your
7,
hips.
8, 2, 2,
Push your head
3,
towards your knees.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And relax. Coming down, we're curling our toes underneath, flexing our toes, and we're
1,
going to lean back.
2, 3,
This is stretching your
4,
toes, something very important
5,
for front kicks.
6, 7, 8.
So you can kick with the
2,
ball of your foot
2,
without
3,
breaking a toe.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now, stepping forward with our right leg, we're going to go into some hip flexor stretching. First of all, push your pelvic bone forward, rotate it forward so your hips are underneath you. Don't stick your butt out. And lean over to the opposite side to the
1,
leg that's
2,
standing.
3, 4,
You should feel this
5,
in the
6,
muscles connecting
7,
the top of your
8.
leg to your hip joint. Now step out a little with your front foot, hands on knee. We're going into a deep lunge.
1,
Push
2,
your
3,
hips, your
4,
hip flexor, the top of your
5,
thigh towards
6,
the floor.
7, 8.
Now place one hand on the floor,
1,
rotate your spine
2,
and look up.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Finally, reach
7,
back if you can.
8.
Grab your foot and pull
1,
your heel towards your
2,
butt so you're getting
3,
an extra stretch for your
4,
thigh.
5, 6, 7.
Some of you may not be able to do this, don't worry.
1.
Another stretch you can do
2,
here is to place
3,
both elbows on the
4,
floor inside your leg.
5, 6.
And this will work the
7,
hamstring
8.
of your right leg. Now coming up, we're going to straighten our front leg. There are different ways to do this stretch. You can have a foot flat, you can have your foot flexed, you can sit back on your heel with a flexed foot, or you can have your foot flat on the floor. I prefer with my toes tucked under, sitting on my heel, your back straight, push your chest forward, try to fold
1,
your stomach
2,
over the top
3,
of your thigh.
4, 5.
Push with your
6,
lower back.
7, 8.
Straight knee,
2,
flexed
2,
foot.
3, 4.
This is your
5,
hamstring.
6, 7.
Now
8.
we're going to do dynamic stretches. So we're pushing forward and backward.
2,
A dynamic flowing stretch for
4,
the hamstring and the hip
5,
flexors.
6.
Finally,
7,
you're going to extend your foot
8.
out in front of you to a position that's comfortable, where you're not quite in a split, but you're getting towards it. And now you're going to do a PNF stretch where you're squeezing again, pushing your heel into the floor and also pushing the knee of your
2,
other leg into
3,
the floor.
4,
And you're trying to squeeze your legs
6,
together like you're
7,
trying to bring them
8.
together through the floor. The floor is stopping you.
1.
And now relax
2,
and
3,
push your foot forward
4,
into a full
5,
split position.
6, 7,
Breathe.
8.
Coming up now, we're switching sides. The same thing, starting with the hip flexor. Rotate the pelvis forward. Lean over
2,
towards
3,
the leg that's
4,
standing
5,
with your opposite
6,
hand.
7, 8.
Coming down, step forward, hands on knee into a
1,
deep
2,
hip flexor
3,
stretch.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Now place
8.
one hand on the floor, rotate your spine,
2,
look up.
3, 4.
Push
5,
that hip flexor
6,
towards the floor
7,
as you're doing it.
8.
Now look back if you can,
1,
grab your
2,
toes,
3,
pull your heel towards your
4,
butt,
5,
and stretch that
6,
thigh muscle.
7, 8.
Now we're going into our
1, 2,
hamstring stretch
3,
again.
4.
Remember, keep
5,
that back straight,
6, 7,
chest up, shoulders
8,
back,
2,
lean forward at the
2,
hips.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now we're going
2,
dynamic,
3,
forward and
4,
backwards,
5, 6,
like the Y
7,
crew in Muay Thai.
8.
Now you're going into an almost split position and PNF.
1,
Squeeze
2,
your legs into the
3,
floor, knee and
4,
heels. Push into the
5,
floor. Tense
6,
your thigh
7,
muscles. Hold
8.
it and relax and
1,
extend into
2,
a full split
3, 4,
if you can,
5, 6,
or wherever
7,
you're comfortable
8.
at.
2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Breathe.
7, 8.
Now rotating towards the front, we're going
1,
into our side split
2,
position.
3,
Keep your
4,
feet flat,
5,
like the
6,
soles of your feet
7,
flat
8.
into the floor.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Relax.
7,
And now
8.
PNF. Squeeze your
2,
both feet into
3,
the floor like you're
4,
trying to push them
5,
together through
6,
the floor.
7,
Hold
8.
and relax. Let yourself fall a little bit deeper. And sit down. Shake your feet out a little bit. And now we're going into our seated straddle stretches. First of all, let's just shake our toes. Shake your toes forward and back. Try to get your little toe to hit the floor behind you, or imagine you're trying to do that. You can use your hands on your thighs to rotate your legs. Now placing your hands behind you, you're going to push your hips forward. Keeping your feet in the same place. You can actually even lift your butt slightly off the floor when you do this. And now place your hands in front of you.
2,
We're
3,
going to rotate
4,
our pelvis forward
5,
and backwards.
6,
Notice
7,
how my thighs
8.
are rotating forward and
1,
backwards.
2,
You should really
3,
feel this in your inner
4,
thighs.
5, 6, 7.
And now
8.
pull your toes towards your head
1,
and squeeze.
2, 3,
Squeeze your thigh muscles,
4,
pushing
5,
the
6,
backs of your knees into the
7,
floor. PNF
8.
stretching again. And relax. Now don't bend over. Keep your spine straight.
1,
And
2,
let your body move
3,
from side to side.
4, 5.
Getting a little bit deeper as you go
6,
each time.
7, 8.
Now reach over your head
1,
with your opposite hand
2,
towards the far
3,
foot.
4,
If you're
5,
able to,
6,
touch the toes.
7, 8.
Keep your other hand in front
1,
of you. Don't put it
2,
behind you.
3, 4.
If you can actually grab
5,
onto your toes, you can
6,
even pull
7,
them for an extra
8.
stretch. Now walking your hands out in
1,
front.
2,
Hold
3,
it there.
4,
And we're going into PNF
5,
again.
6,
Point your toes
7,
towards your
8.
head and squeeze your thighs. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. Let your body fall forward a little bit. We're going to repeat this again. Point and flex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Relax. Let your body fall forward. Breathe. And finally, if you're able to, we're going into a full side split. Pull your hips forward so that they are in line with your legs and you're in the full split. Now you can extend your body upright, holding the position, and sit back, relax, and shake it out. Good job. Okay, next we're going into some more hip mobility work. Sitting on your butt, knees up, feet flat on the floor. We're going to
1,
rotate our
2,
knees
3,
so they fall to the
4,
floor on either side.
5,
With your
6,
hands behind you
7,
first.
8.
Then you're going to pick your hands up off the
2,
floor, sit upright,
3,
and continue the
4,
movement.
5, 6, 7.
And now falling
8.
down to one side, you place your hands on your shin, leg 45 degrees, and raise your
2,
rear knee up and down.
3, 4, 5.
Really working that hip
6,
joint.
7, 8.
Now you can extend the rear leg behind you. We're going into a pigeon stretch. So you're keeping your chest over the shin in front and pushing forward from the lower back. Remember, no round backs in this stretching routine. Always keep that back engaged. Go down as low as you can. Make sure you're keeping your chest over your shin and pushing the hip towards the floor. Change sides. Again, make sure that front leg is 45 degrees.
2, 3,
Raising the knee up and
4,
down.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Now extending the back leg as far as you can. Try to rotate your hip towards the floor, chest over shin. Don't lean over behind the thigh of your front leg. Make sure you're over the shin. This is really working the buttocks, stretching your buttocks and upper outer thigh muscle. And coming up, we're going to go into some bridging now. So we're going to
1,
raise our butt up
2,
off the floor.
3,
So we're just on our
4,
shoulders and our feet.
5,
Hold
6, 7, 8.
And now
1,
we're going to come up from side
2,
to side on one shoulder. Shoulder bridges.
4,
This is the part of the
5,
routine where I go into
6,
some ground
7,
basics.
8.
Now going
1,
into shrimps.
2,
Just
3,
your basic shrimping.
4.
I think this is a
5,
great place to put this in the routine in your
7,
warm up before you start
8.
doing martial arts. Now
1,
roll ups into combat base.
2,
Roll up, tucking one leg
3,
underneath you and coming up so you're sitting on that shin.
4,
Some people like to actually
5,
raise their hips up off the floor here,
6,
pushing their hips forward
7,
like that.
8,
Now going into kick throughs, going onto one hand, kicking the opposite
2,
leg through.
3, 4, 5.
This is all good mobility
6,
work before you start
7,
your
8.
basic training. And finally, dive bomber push-ups. Think
2,
like you're licking the floor and then
3,
going into a cobra stretch.
4,
Dive bomber.
5, 6.
And finally, we're
7,
going to hold that cobra stretch at the end to finish.
8.
Point your toes. Stretch that back. And relax. Come up into a Seiza kneeling position. Relax and breathe. Turn your attention inside. Focus on the different sensations you feel in your body. Feel the breath moving through your body. We're almost done, but we still need some dynamic stretches to finish before we start actually doing any basic kicking movements. First, we're going to do forward leg swings.
1,
From a bow stance,
2,
knee straight, foot flexed, raising your legs straight up in front, gradually
5,
increasing the range of mobility as you go.
7, 8, 9, 10.
And change legs. Start medium
1,
lowish and gradually raise the
3,
height.
4,
So this is the most dynamic stretching part
6,
of the routine.
7, 8,
This is very important for getting your
9,
high kick ability.
10.
Moving to crescent kicks now.
1,
Rotating, kicking
2,
out,
3,
outward arc,
4,
alternating legs.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And now side leg raises for side kicks.
1,
Raise your
2,
leg directly to the side,
3,
either side alternating,
4,
alternating legs.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
And finally,
10.
back leg raises. Extend your arms in front for balance and kick your heel towards the ceiling.
2,
Keep your leg as straight as you can.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And that's it. We're done. Ready to go. Os.
So there you go, guys. How are you feeling now? Pretty stretched out, no doubt. All right, so that's my stretching routine. I do this routine probably 3-4 times a week when I'm teaching classes. Often I will shorten this, do the stretches for a little bit of a shorter time depending on how much time we have available in class. And then maybe once a week I'll do the full routine by myself in my own training, where I take my time and really go deeply into each stretch, really focusing on my breath and working through it. So I recommend you do this at least 2 or 3 times a week, and you will increase your flexibility. Good luck, keep at it, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.